Elon's been tucking up a storm about GigaBerlin and some exciting things in development there, giving us some hard numbers, like for instance, they want to initially start with 100 gigawatt hours of battery production a year, and they have a roadmap to scale that up to 250 gigawatt hours a year, which in case you're wondering, that would easily put it at the largest battery manufacturing location in the world. At this point, probably by a long shot, but there's likely to be other battery manufacturing places that ramp up production and scale their supply chains at the same time as GigaBerlin scaling, but I think this is kind of the spearhead of the whole movement at mass producing these 4680 cells, and it's the factory that I think has come the furthest way in the shortest amount of time if you consider that they broke ground just barely 6 months ago and they've already gotten so much completed. We're seeing siding being added to the buildings, and we're even seeing Tesla get approval to start cutting down more of the trees surrounding the factory so that they can build out their battery cell manufacturing location as well. And before all of the environmentalists get concerned here and start complaining about the irony of cutting down trees for electric cars, let me be clear here. Originally, the forest was grown by people to be harvested, okay? These trees were literally planted, intended to be cut down. It's not a natural forest. It's not just some woodsy area. And Tesla has also committed that to every tree they cut down, they will also plant 3 more. And they want to ensure that with the construction of GigaBerlin, they do it in the most environmentally friendly way possible. They've gone through some extensive circumstances to ensure that, including not cutting down one of the last trees in the first phase of GigaBerlin's location because it still had some bats left over. So they didn't want to cut down the tree until they got the bats out. Just one example of how far they're willing to go to ensure that the transition of turning this man-made forest into an electric vehicle factory is done in the most environmentally friendly way. Elon has also been talking more about how they're still planning on doing a European-style compact hatchback that would fit the needs of the European market better than the current Model Y that they're going to start producing initially. Elon even talked about how they had a hard time finding parking when they were driving around in Model X's whenever they visited Europe. In case you're curious, Elon is in Berlin right now, sleeping on the floor of the factories, as he typically does when he wants things to get done. And personally, even though on the investor relations news site it says that they are under construction for the Model Y and the Model 3 is in development, I think they should skip the Model 3 and just go straight into developing a compact hatchback for the European market, because there's such strict competition that Tesla is going up against in Europe that just, you know, lowering the price of the Model 3 or making the Model 3 a little bit better because it has new generation cells, I don't think will be as crucial or as important as just ramping the production and working on bringing that compact hatchback to market. To the extent that I wouldn't be surprised if they actually end up rearranging their timeline a bit here and saying, okay, we want to ramp Model Y first, we know that, but after Model Y production is ramped, we're just going to move straight into the European style hatchback and work on mass producing that, because Model 3 and Model Y have a lot in common, and from what I'm hearing from a lot of European fans is that the Model 3, even for Europe, is somewhat sizable. And if Tesla has to ramp the production of the Model Y, then they have to ramp production of the Model 3, then they have to design and unveil a European-style hatchback, and then ramp construction of that sector of the factory. I feel like that leaves a lot of time for Tesla's competitors over in Europe to develop similar, cheaper hatchbacks that Tesla would be going up against. When it comes to value, I mean, that's very subjective. I'm sure you could argue Teslas with supercharging access and the full self-driving hardware and the 4680 cells and the range you'll be getting out of them, yeah, the competition probably will have a hard time competing. But as we've seen with the already competitive European EV sector, even the vehicles that may not be the best overall value and may not have the best range on the market can still end up being the best sellers and have surpassed the Model 3 in sales several times. So making a vehicle that's more practical and fits the needs of that market better, I think should take priority over just more Model 3s that are better than the previous Model 3s, because that's a Tesla that is already in the European Union and they're importing them from Shanghai right now, so people are even getting new generation Model 3s with the updated battery packs and iron phosphate chemistry and that kind of thing. So just revamping that so that you can lower the price of the Model 3 there, I'm I'm sure some will appreciate it to a certain extent, but overall, I think there's far more people that would appreciate how quickly can Tesla get their $25,000 Tesla or the equivalent to that in European countries. Hopefully they can get that to market soon and they can truly utilize those 4680 cells and ensure that you can still have a quality range at a low price and have a high quality vehicle that is practical and sure, definitely going to be a bit smaller than what Tesla is used to building, but this is the beauty of adopting to different markets, right? They've been working for a long time on optimizing vehicles for the US. Now it's time to start optimizing vehicles a bit better for Europe. Hearing all these great progress updates and permits being passed for GigaBerlin is really exciting to me, and I love watching the footage, so make sure to check out Tobias's channel if you want to see more updates of GigaBerlin's construction. Currently probably on track to be operational by June or May of next year, but they even want to start hiring people as soon as January, and it looks like they're already bringing in the paint shop equipment, which is a totally different style paint shop from what Tesla is using in Fremont and Shanghai. So really exciting, great stuff to hear for the European market. Let me know what you guys are most excited for. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.